Straight ahead on the Valley today, riots overnight in a Twin Cities suburb. We could be just hours away now from finding out if the police officer involved in a deadly traffic stop that's prompting this unrest will face criminal charges.
And will Derek Chauvin take the witness stand? Legal experts say it could be his best chance of clearing himself in George Floyd's death. But first, if your driveway is anything like our parking lot this morning, you have a little work to do before you hit the road. Light snow fell for much of the night, left behind just enough to warrant pulling out those shovels and those scrapers again this morning.
And roads here in the FM Metro are a lot more slick. And that, of course, will mean you need a little extra time to get to where you're going this morning. So let's head out live to the Valley Today's Brian Sherrod so we know what to expect before you step out the door. Good morning, Brian.
And good morning, Jordan and Lisa. What I can definitely tell you is with this being day 2 of covering roads, today is a lot worse than it was yesterday. Right now I'm at 8th Street South, you're recognized by McDonald's and Sponsorville. And what I can tell you is traffic has really picked up on this road. Definitely slippery, but it looks better than it did earlier. Doesn't mean it is better because it still is slippery. We have driven on these roads and we can tell you the slightest turn will make you slide. Now the sidewalks, another concern this morning as well. We're down the street from Concordia College and MSUM, so we can definitely tell you that if you plan on walking to school or if you plan on just getting yourself to work, be extra cautious as you're walking as well, because these sidewalks are definitely pretty slippery. You don't want to take a wrong turn or wrong step, I should definitely say, and fall. Now, just letting you know to also make sure if you're going to be driving down the road, please clear off your front and back windows. I've seen a lot of vehicles driving on the roads today, and I'm pretty sure you cannot see out the front of the back, so how are you going to stop when you have to? So I definitely recommend that as well. So again, just be cautious as you're traveling on the road. Jordan, Lisa, I'm going to toss it back to you in the studio.
Brian Sherrod reporting live. Thank you for that update. And you had mentioned the other day you parked outside, and so, with all that heavy, wet snow and rain, you might have frozen doors or need to chip a little bit more on the windshield.
This morning it was just more of that light snow that kind of fell, which is a little easier to get off, but it doesn't make it any more pleasant when you have to go out there and get your hands cold and have that snow blowing all in your face while you're doing it. But we want to get a check of our forecast. We were warned days ago that we were going to have days of snow. Sure enough, here it is. But we want to get a check of our forecast now with meteorologist Lisa Green. Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning, and plows working on scraping that snow off the roads. Bright white here in our view on a recent snap from a Minnesota DOT plow cam. This is in Norman County, north of Ada. And look at all that snow on the road, maybe some ice. Looks like there's been a little minor drifting going on too that they're working on clearing. So this is something that's going to be greeting a lot of folks here today. Even the higher traveled roads, those interstates, are also running into some issues as well. So this is along Highway 9, and we'll continue to have some issues again as long as we continue to have that snow. And into North Dakota, you can see that lots of colors on the map, mostly reporting some icy patches and some snow on those road surfaces. In Fargo, you could see some of the moisture from recent snow this morning on our camera, and conditions are just not nice. It might be okay for a moment, and then you run into an icy patch here. So something to keep in mind here as you head through the day. Our area conditions, Fargo, we're at 28 degrees, so is Grand Forks. Both metros reporting some light snow. Thief River Falls is at 30, Bemidji some snow at 33, 28, and Fergus Falls, Detroit Lakes reporting lower visibility at 30 degrees. And in Detroit Lakes, we've had some snow working its way through. Another round, another batch just about to drop in from the northeast. That's the direction of these snow showers, and that will continue here in Becker County and in Otter Tail County this morning. So Fergus Falls, this will eventually head your way if it holds together. And then over by Grand Forks, we've had some snow that's dropping over into parts of Griggs, Steele, Trail County, Castleton getting some snow at the moment as well. And this is kind of the remnants of this system, but there are still some places where there's plenty of scattered snow going on. North of the border in Minnesota, the Boundary Water is seeing some snow trying to cross over, and so that may have some impacts on our viewers in northwestern Minnesota. So I'm going to keep an eye on that for you. Visibility in Detroit Lakes at about a quarter mile, so not only slick, but breezy too. Some gusts into the 20s and 30s, and temperatures again below freezing. So out at the bus stop this morning, the kids will want to be careful walking there because of the ice and snow on the sidewalks, and we're looking at some chances for snow to start. We warm to or above freezing this afternoon, so we start the slow trend of warming things up and starting to melt that snow, but it's more into the end of the week, Thursday and Friday, where we get that going in earnest with highs in the 40s.
All right, looking forward to the sunshine that you have on the 7-day there, but until then, be warned, slick and a little chilly out there this morning. Lisa, thank you.
Breaking overnight, more than 60 people were arrested for rioting in Brooklyn Center, Minnesota, after a third day of unrest in the wake of a deadly police shooting in that Minneapolis suburb. Flashbangs and smoke appeared to be fired into a crowd of demonstrators as law enforcement closed in. Hundreds of people were in that area near the city's police station following a rally for 20-year-old Dante Wright, who was killed during a traffic stop on Sunday by Officer Kim Potter.
They were given orders to disperse, and after officials say demonstrators threw objects and then sprayed mace at officers. So far, there have been no reports of looting from last night's unrest. Officer Potter resigned yesterday, as did the police chief, and a decision could come as soon as today on whether or not charges will be filed against that officer. The defense in the Derek Chauvin murder trial is now presenting its case, and we are waiting to hear if the former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin will take the stand to defend himself. Some court observers say testifying may be Chauvin's only hope of rebutting video at the heart of the prosecutor's case that shows Chauvin pinning George Floyd for about 9.5 minutes. But doing so would also open Chauvin to potentially devastating cross-examination by the prosecutors.
Legal experts say prosecutors would likely play the widely seen bystander video with Chauvin on the stand, repeatedly asking him how Floyd posed a threat. Yesterday, a use of force expert testifying for the defense says Chauvin was justified in pinning Floyd to the ground because he kept struggling. He actually contradicted a large number of authorities from both inside and outside the police force in Minneapolis who said Chauvin used excessive force and violated his training.
A woman is dead after an ATV crash in northern Minnesota. The Hubbard County Sheriff's Department says 38-year-old Cassandra Berg of Cross Lake died Saturday when she hit an embankment, rolled, and then got pinned under the ATV.
The crash report says alcohol was involved and the victim was not wearing a helmet. The bishop of the Crookston Catholic Diocese is out amid allegations that he covered up sexual abuse involving clergy in the diocese. Michael Heppner resigned at the request of Pope Francis. And now a local man is speaking out, saying his sexual abuse claims were covered up years ago through the Crookston Diocese.
Ron Vosick says that he has been fighting to get his truth heard after revealing to Bishop Heppner his experience with sexual abuse. In 2017, Vosick went public with a lawsuit alleging that Heppner tried to bury his sexual abuse claims. Vosick says now that he is relieved the truth is coming to light, but he was looking for more of an explanation.
I was hoping that first off, that the people responsible for the wrongdoing that they did would publicly own up to it instead of just getting, I resign.
Pope Francis appointed Reverend Richard Pates of Des Moines, Iowa, to lead the Crookston Diocese until a new bishop is named. All 50 states have suspended the use of the Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine.
Federal health officials recommended the pause after 6 women developed blood clots after receiving the shot. The vaccine has been administered to roughly 7 million people. Fargo-Cass Public Health is holding a vaccine clinic today for anyone 16 and older. It runs from 9 this morning to 7 tonight at the former Gordman's building. Walk-ins are welcome, but appointments are still recommended. You can find more information by finding this story at valleynewslive.com.
And NDSU is partnering with Sanford Health to hold its second COVID-19 vaccine clinic on campus today from 8 to 5 at the Sanford Health Athletic Complex, or the Shack. It's open to all NDSU students, faculty, and staff. Originally, the Johnson & Johnson vaccine was scheduled, but with that vaccine on pause, they're now offering the Pfizer shot instead. The second dose of that Pfizer shot will then be delivered on May 6th.
Let's get our answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook. Today's question: the average person does this at least 10 times a month.
The answer is they forget a password. I think you could say almost every single day for me anyway.
I know. Thank goodness for reset your password.
Yes, there's so many of them in today's world. But the Today Show and CBS This Morning is just about to start, but the Valley Today rolls on. More live up-to-the-minute news and weather coverage on the Fargo CW as we follow that winter weather hitting the region right now. Have a good day, everyone.